Good night, and it is 10:45 p.m. on this Tuesday night. And I know this is a late video, and I apologize for that, and I apologize for not having a video up lately in the past couple of days. To see a couple other guys putting some videos up, and hey, that's cool. It's good to see. The one thing and the big news of the week is the leak and rumor that TNA will be canceled, and the contract won't be renewed come October by Spike TV. And if this is true, you got to give a little bit of respect to Spike TV. Unlike their predecessors at CMT did with DCW, they're giving the Carters and the TNA production more than enough time to find a new channel and a new time slot and see how that goes. One thing I did think about was maybe doing what the old AWA did: call up ESPN and go, look, give us a lowball offer, put us on at like 11 o'clock at night at ESPN2, and give us like an hour or 2 hours. Don't even do 2 hours. Just give us an hour. Try to get back in the impact zone or building a little bit bigger than the impact zone where you got to pay a little bit of rent, and really just do what you did before. Push your product. Buy commercial time on Friday nights during SmackDown. Buy commercial time on commercial Monday nights during Raw. You don't have to ask WWE's permission for it. You just gotta hope USA likes the money you're giving them. And then when you do that, then you can fix your roster and you can fix the little holes that you have, like letting Chris Daniels go and letting a Kazarian go and riding Kurt Angle into the ground to where he's going to leave in October. And TNA, it's not. Here's the thing: it's not hard to fix. How often do you see a commercial about TNA? I'll wait. I'll continue to wait. That's right. Unless it's like ECW. If you don't know about the product and you're not a TNA fan, you don't know it's on. You don't know that Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, Impact Wrestling is on Spike TV. 2 hours. You don't know. You didn't know that ECW was on. I mean, if they're in your town, they'll do the flyers in the paper, and they'll do the radio spots and the TV shows in the morning and the local news channels and all that, and they'll promote the show, and that's good. But besides that, Dixie Carter does not do anything to promote her show. Panda Energy does not do anything to help promote TNA. All the only people that promote TNA are two people. The wrestlers that work in TNA on Twitter or Facebook or shoot videos on YouTube, and fans. That's the only people who do it. So if Dixie Carter gets kicked off of Spike TV for not putting on a good show, for not letting wrestling people run a wrestling company, I'm sorry, that's your own fault. Don't hire Bruce Pritchard. Don't hire back Vince Russo. Don't let Jeff Jarrett walk. Don't let AJ Styles walk. Don't let Bobby Roode walk. Don't let Kazarian walk. Don't let Samoa Joe walk. I get you're trying to bring in new talent and all that, but you never really pushed the talent that you had to begin with. And if you did push it, you pushed it for a minuscule amount of time before the WWE veterans that came over. You pushed them. You're not supposed to be the WWE. You're supposed to be an alternative. I don't want to see ex-WWE wrestlers all the time when I turn into TNA. I don't want to see NFL-type football when I tune in to watch CFL. I like the CFL. I like TNA. I like the fact that it's different. It's alternative. You do good things. You go back to the Six Sides of Ring, but the only reason you went back to that was because Jarrett brought it to Global Force, and you were trying to beat him to the punch because he was going to get a new time slot. And don't be surprised if he ends up on Spike TV or Country Music Station or Channel or whatever the hell it's called, or Heartland TV, with a six-sided ring and a couple of guys that you're going to know in about a couple of months because they're going to be doing amazing things down there, like he did with TNA in the begin with. TNA started out as that one Wednesday a month pay-per-view. Every Wednesday was a pay-per-view. It was the Asylum in Nashville. and the silent, and it was really good TV. And we saw a mix of a lot of people. You saw old WCW guys and old ECW guys and rookies, and it was something that you could really, really work out and get into, and it's something that they got away from. It stopped being promoting the young guys and the guys they were bringing up from independence and NWA Wildside and different various NWA promotions around the globe, and it became of pushing your ex-WWE guy or your ex-WWE guy or Hogan and Bischoff, and they weren't there to help the company. I think Eric was. Because I've heard enough from a lot of different shoots that Eric Bischoff wanted to promote and wanted to help that company. I think Hogan, on the other hand, did not. I think Hogan, on the other hand, was just there for the money, and when he got his money and he saw that everything was splitting off, he bailed. And he went right back to the Silverdome at WrestleMania 30. Yes, I know I'm joking. Haha. But as a TNA fan, as a guy who flew down to Orlando to see 2 TNA shows, who stayed there to get autographs from Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley and Sting and Samoa Joe and all these guys that I was getting really into and enjoying to watch, and that saw come up from Ring of Honor and different indie promotions to hit what I consider was a mainstream promotion. You know, you had the NWA backing it. As an adult WCW fan, as long as you have those 3 letters in front of your name, to me, you're important. And then when they dropped the NWA moniker, I thought that was a bad idea. I didn't like it. You know, the NWA gave you credibility. TNA on its own had no credibility. But the NWA with the Jarretts gave them credibility, gave them instant credibility. And when they got guys in like Shamrock, and they brought guys in like Sting, even with Jarrett, I know a lot of people don't like Jarrett in the ring, but even Jarrett, certain guys gave you credibility. And yeah, they brought in Christian and they brought in Angle, and they gave it. But even the Christian and Angle signings were still under the NWA moniker. The second they dropped the NWA moniker, came out with their old belt, which they changed once, and then changed again, and then changed to the Jeff Hardy belt, and then changed back, and then Jeff wore 2 belts. What did that title mean? You never saw anybody change the NWA Championship. Like, you never saw anybody change the WCW or / World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, the WWE Championship has gotten facelifts over the years, but it's still, you knew what that title was. It was established enough that you could give it a facelift. The TNA World Championship never had enough credibility to give it a facelift, and when Sting walks out into the ring with a new championship belt and nobody notices except Taz or Don West, I can't remember, that was a problem. That was a big problem. Because even for a new title that The Rock brings out, there's a ceremony, there's a speech, you got the red velvet blanket cape thing to unveil it. And at the end of the night, what happens? CM Punk knocks out John Cena, looks at the title that he's having, which was that old, really crappy spinner belt that lasted way too long. Looked at the new title, dropped the spinner belt, and said, I want that one. Because that, at that point, was cemented as what the WWE Championship was going to be. And when your title can't keep the same faceplate for more than 6 months, that was an issue. It was a small issue, but it was a big issue. Because it's issues like that that make fans who watch your product as kids grow up and want to be TNA Heavyweight Champion. So when I was a kid, I wanted to be WCW Heavyweight Champion because the WCW Heavyweight Championship was the belt. It was the gold belt. That's why you saw a lot of backlash when Vince changed everything in the mid-'90s, when the Intercontinental title changed, and the WWF title changed, and the tag team titles kind of changed a little bit, sort of there. You know, it was same plating, but still a little different. You know, but you knew that they were still the same championships because you knew the names, you knew who held those titles, and not like the lineages were brought up. But the thing about it is, when they left the NWA, going back to TNA, the TNA championship had no lineage to the NWA World title. It's not like the WCW World title, which was the NWA World title, which became the World Heavyweight title, had lineage, had a past. So TNA, if I'm you, I'm calling ESPN. I'm calling, honestly, I'm calling like VH1 or MTV. I'm calling maybe Fox Sports 1. They need broadcasting. They need shows. Give me an hour if I'm on the phone. If I'm selling TNA, this is what I'm doing. I'm picking up my iPhone or my Samsung or my Droid and I'm hitting some numbers and I'm going, hey, ESPN, give us this amount of money. Say give us $2 million. $2 million low ball offer. $2 million, which is more than what they offer in the NHL. $2 million for 1 hour time slot. From 10 o'clock to 11:15 every Wednesday night, Thursday night, maybe Wednesday. Keep Wednesday or Thursday, but maybe say Wednesday. And we're gonna give you good action, good TV, and something that you can promote after us. Then you can promote Oberman, or you can promote, especially when the World Cup comes back, or something like that. You can promote games after that, and then you go back to what made you good, and what a lot of TNA talent said. You hire back guys like Dusty Rhodes. You hire guys that maybe from Ring of Honor. You fire Vince Russo. Dixie, get in this point. Dixie, you step away. You're not Vince McMahon. You haven't been promoting wrestling your entire life. You were in music before you even got into the wrestling business. You know nothing of the wrestling business, and that's fine. It's just admit it and be done with it, and let somebody who knows it run it. Even if you want to give it back to Eric Bischoff, and let Bischoff run it. At least Bischoff knows wrestling. Yes, his ideas are a little bit weird and a little bit awkward, and sometimes you get storyline flaws, but they're not as bad as Russo. They're not. And you just let things be. WWE does real hot shot booking, even to this day. It's snap, 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 snap. This gets done, this gets done, this gets done. Only now do you see them going with a low, slow-burning storyline writing. Draw out your rivalries. One of your greatest rivalries of all time were Triple X versus AMW, and that thing lasted about 3 years. Into one of the greatest cage matches I've ever seen in my life at Turning Point. Helix Skipper and Christopher Daniels versus Chris Harris and James Storm, and it's 6 sides of steel, and Helix Skipper catwalks the top of this cage and does a Frankenstein or a Hurricane, I think, to James Storm off the top of the cage. It was one of the coolest moments I've ever seen. And you don't promote it. You don't promote it. You don't promote the night that Christian won the title. You don't promote the night Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle faced off. You don't promote anything AJ Styles. You don't promote anything prior to you guys becoming TNA. Where I don't think the Jarretts own it. Maybe the NWA does, but I don't think the Jarretts own it. And you could have a signature in the show that shows great moments. Like Jarrett winning the championship, Angle winning the championship, Joe winning the championship, Sting, the Helix Skipper moment. You can go to these fans and go, look at these moments, look at these times in our history where we've done tremendous things like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Iron Man match, the triple threat match between AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe. Yes, you've done stupid crap like the reverse battle royal and, oh my god, anything with Relic and Black Rain, even though, hey, Dustin, you did what you could, and, hey, solid on you for that. 1 second here. There's nothing wrong with that. WWE's been done horrible crap, too. Aldo Montoya, the Phantom guy that would pull off his face. Vince wanted to rename Vader Southern Justice. uh, Kurgan's first stable. I forget what it was. Somebody knows what that's. They all came out in like green T-shirts and khakis, and the Jackal was the manager. What the hell was that stable? Anyway, oh, it'll come to me. So don't think that you know WWE hasn't made their mistakes that they can't come back from. You can come back from this. You just have to take your breath and let other people take control. Update your, and it's small things. Update your website. It's been the same for ages. I get it. WWE's red and black. You gotta be blue and black because you gotta be different. No, don't. Stupid. Come up with different colors. Your first colors were red and black anyway. Nobody knows Impact as the Blue Show. If you mention the Blue Show to anybody, everybody thinks SmackDown. Use your own colors. Use your own ring. I mean, come on. Go purple in something. Go, yellow in something. Go green, yellow. Go green, gold. If you want to stay with blue, go blue and navy blue and gold. Do something to revamp it. Right now you have the Dixie heel stable. With EC3 and Spud and Rhino and Dixie, and it's overplayed. You don't need the heel authority figure because, let's face it, WWE is already doing that in 5,000 different ways anyway. Do something different. You were doing fine when Cornette would just show up every once in a while and book a match. That's all you needed. That's all that mattered. The matches were booked. The storylines were done. Fans don't need to know that storyline comes from somebody. They just need to know there's a goddamn storyline. And this is coming from a fan who saw Jack Tunney maybe twice every 3 months. And I never questioned anything. I didn't know who booked WCW until I figured out Eric Bischoff was running it.